and you'll in a world of legendary moments will be captured. So stand up, scream, and make sure the boys feel you.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What is going on, Cowboy Nation and the rest of the NFL? Because of course I gotta include you guys because you guys will be coming in easily with our victory. No, not a victory at all, man. Something that we predicted, but of course it does not come true. So many factors to it, and of course the rivalry lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, Part 1. Bryan, man, how are you? Are you on any kind of watch, or how was the day? You know, I know with me going into work today, it was not good. I didn't really want to be there. I have to do some work, and everything kind of just lingers a little bit. The traffic lights I hit on the way to work, I stubbed my toe. Those type of days starts happening, and of course, it was set up from yesterday's events. So, Bryan, tell me, man, how are you doing?
I'm still in I'm in a haze.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a haze. And it's not even, we talked about it off air a little bit. It's not even because of the loss. I knew full well what we were getting into yesterday. But I would have done better with I didn't feel nowhere near this bad. I was upset, but I didn't feel like nowhere near as bad after the Niner game. But I thought we outplayed the Eagles pretty much in every area other than red zone, and we just didn't get the breaks, man. That's what it comes down to. We weren't perfect, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm in a fog. I walk into work, and the first thing a guy says to me is, say Dak chokes, you just can't finish the game. Anybody that has a pair of eyes and has any sports athleticism in mind at all knows that it wasn't Dak Prescott who lost the game. So I cannot argue. I don't want to talk to that guy or whoever it is, because you don't know what the frig you're talking about.
Well, there's a lot of them, and you have to deal with a lot of box score watchers, guys that aren't there, and they just see a stat and they run with it. Oh, that means he choked. Not even there. One thing that I will say though is who is here. We got Jeff Lee, Brad Harris, of course, Twiz. They're talking some rivalry stuff there. Stacy from Roland's Review, my cousin Vinny, of course, Coyote, Crystal Caramel Corn, JoJo is in the house. Let's see, who do I got in here that I might not be seeing, so I apologize.
Brad Harris is here, Jeff Lee.
Hey, Coyote, I like your new icon, sir. You gotta pay up the bet, man. Gotta pay up the bet. I understand.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes.
Great.
So I feel bad. I feel bad for you, sir. I feel bad. Dallas Cowboys, welcome. 1 week icon is what it is.
Hey, I could appreciate it.
It could have been worse,
Dallas
right?
Cowboys.
And so when I start off this, I'm going to start this particular part off because I'm not going to try to bring it up again. The refs. The first thing I'm going to say is the refs. It's just bad officiating all the way across. And when people try to bring up the stat of, it was even, it came up even towards the end. But there were some critical plays, and that's the thing. There was critical plays not called. There were critical plays picked up. There were critical plays just called on the Cowboys as well. And once you push that aside, that happens in a lot of the games that are happening in the NFL. And that's my really concern, because they're taking it away from two teams that were doing a great job battling each other. Didn't need to get refs involved. It was playoff football, and it was playoff football type of atmosphere. So that's where I'll bring it up in the sense that, hey, it was a factor, but it wasn't the all-around factor that, a lot of people try to jump on there. Bryan, anything you want to say about the flags? Because I want to just kind of put it to rest.
Well, when you look at the final number, and that's what Eagle fans are going to look at. Well, we both had 10. We actually had 10 for more yardage. Okay. Again, this is not something that has nothing to do with the Eagles. I don't want the Eagles fans to think I'm complaining necessarily about the Eagles. It's more about the referees. This is something I brought up 2 weeks ago with Mark Holmes. Me and Phil talked about it.
Yeah, scores.
The scoring is down in the NFL. So that's going to lead to what we saw yesterday. Now, whether you're on the winning side or the losing side, do you really want to win
Dallas
that
Cowboys.
way or
That is
lose
so
that
true.
way? I don't want to do it. What's up?
No, and that's exactly. I don't want it to be
Chuck,
lost
what
that
up,
way. I don't
Chuck?
want it
I
to be
hear
won
you,
that
buddy.
way. That's where I say there's a lot of stuff in there, and I'm going to jump on
McDane
Dallas.
Clay, welcome to the show, buddy. I know I just cut off Phil, but I haven't seen you here before.
Yeah, I
Welcome,
appreciate you
welcome.
coming through. Dallas Cowboys
honey,
kind of
nice.
brings it up. It says when Dak threw it to Schoonmaker, Cook was wide open on the other side. Yeah, why? Because CeeDee Lamb actually does the route correctly compared to Jake Ferguson on the other side that just kind of runs the route, afraid to get something. And then you got to put it on. There's one or two things that I will put on Dak, and this is one of them. And that's you just didn't look at the whole field, man. You kind of just predetermined on where you're going, but
that because this is what happened.
should have been passing.
Anyway, go ahead. Finish.
No, go ahead. No. I had already said, just in the sense
I
of.
thought you were done.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing a reverb, so I didn't know if I cut you off. Yeah, I mean, like when you look from a up top view, you can see that. But I trust Brian Broaddus. He did say yes, he was coming open, but by that point, the rush was all over Dak. So, and here's another thing, and this is from McCarthy's mouth today at his press conference. Basically, this offense, you must go through your progression. Mm-hmm. If the progression is open, you go and hit it. Whatever the progression is in that particular play. Sometimes it's not CD. Sometimes it's the other guy. He doesn't have a lot of time back there. Dak was sacked 5 times.
Yeah, and literally. So when we jump on that, I definitely want to bring up that category because when you look at one of the guys that were in the offensive line, you got to point to Steele. PFF kind of puts him at a score of 15. He gave up 12 pressures, 7 hurries, and allowed 4 sacks. And now, as much as people want to blame Terrence Steele, there's a certain point. I mean, he's going off against one-on-one against a pass rusher that when we put our top pass rusher, he's getting double, triple teamed, held on a lot of the plays. Let's be real. I mean, there's a lot of video out there showing it, not getting those calls, but he has to battle through that. He has to learn to win through those because it just looks like it's something in his career that's going to be happening. And he just kind of needs to start to kind of train that way. But when you look at Terrence Steele, man, I got to look at the coaching staff on this one, man. Why are you not getting him help? Why are we not chipping with somebody? Why are we not putting a tight end over there? Why are we not using maybe a fullback like Limpke? Something. Give me somebody. I don't know, Turpin going for an ankle? Something to help Terrence Steele.
Remember the one play, Rico? I didn't honestly watch every play, but I did see Rico literally go right by Reddick as he was blown by Steele.
And he avoids him. He kind of avoids him a little bit,
Like when Phil says chip or whatever, what that means is give a hit
before you run
help out and then release out to your route. Like, that's all we're asking.
That's nothing. He's putting his arms up. That's when they chip right into the rib area, and it kind of just stuns them a little bit. That's part of football, man. It's just something that needs to have been done. But that's, again, the coaching staff of an offensive coordinator that needs to adjust to what is happening in the game. But he goes off, I got my play list, and this is all that. No, man. Like, you need to go bigger than that.
Yeah, and Steele was never this bad. He's not a bad player. He's just not all the way back. This is one of them type of injuries where it's going to take a while. He's healthy, but he's not. His footwork is what's getting him killed. It's nothing physical. It's his footwork, and when you have to learn how to walk again, it's you
don't trust your foot as much, and
it'll get there. You know who else had a bad game? Tyler Biotish. You know who had a great game? Was the left side.
Our worried side
said that Tyron Smith played as well as he's seen him play in a long time and dominated the left side of that line. With him and Tyler Smith, that's something special. But we just need to put it together. But like Phil's saying, you got to help Terrence Steele at times. You're not going to be able to help him all the time, but you need to help him out, especially in these key pass plays. There was another play, just the obvious play, where Dak went out of bounds. Dak was going for the Shout out to Brandon Graham. The old man Graham. Dak's not as fast as he once was with the leg thing. But Brandon Graham continued to take the angle to push Dak to the sideline. That was all Brandon Graham. If it wasn't, he's in the end zone easy. So it was just a good play, and Dak wanted to get one more step before he did his leap, which in theory was right because that would have allowed him to actually reach the end zone.
Just took it too
far.
But
he just took it too far. And it's easy for us to say when you got a 250-pound dude running as fast as he can, and he's right next to you.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, but
so when I look at it, I look at those two plays, maybe a third one in there that Dak. That's all I question on that sense. But man, you can't be perfect. And man, he seemed like to be playing a really, really good game. There were some times where I questioned the playmaking, the play calling. We talked about with Bryan. I kind of got in a little rant at work today because they were talking to me about it, and I'm like, here's the thing: you go through your whole week of preparation. You're going, I'm going to attack this secondary. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And the first two plays that you come out with is let's run Tony Pollard up the middle. Like, that's what you went all week, and you're like, yeah, this is going to be it. Like,
but you know what I'm scared about? Because I heard McCarthy's press conference today, and they were asking about the running. He goes, well, if we run it more, then I suspect the numbers will even out. So what does that mean? I mean, I guess in technical terms, if you run it more, because they questioned him, and he got a little snippy. I don't know who Mike McCarthy thinks he is, why he feels the need to be snippy to anybody. They were questioning your first drives. Part of him. They were questioning your first drives, Mike. And yet again, run, incomplete. Mm-hmm. Right? And then yet the Eagles' first drive, although helped by two pass interference, not the first drive, but one of the drives was pass interference. But my thing on that first drive, Phil, when Jalen, his knee was down 2 yards before where they actually marked him, a yard and almost 2 yards, that was a huge play, and he didn't want to review it because it was too early in the game.
Yeah, and he was really short.
Mind you, that would have been 4th and 3 on their own 30. Now, are you going to push at that point? Mm-hmm. But so you didn't, and then you went on to score a touchdown. That same the very same drive. So, listen, I don't care what point of the game, what's right is right. All the money we have up in the booth, looking at this crap, pull the trigger. Let's review it. I mean, it was a horrible spot. Me and Phil.
Hold on.
I'm hearing some crackling.
Yeah, hold on. Let me adjust it. Okay, try it again.
But yeah,
there we go.
I mean, I hear myself, but.
Oh well, one for the other.
Okay.
Do you hear yourself now?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, yeah. So
you're talking about the tush push, all that, the clock management on him, towards the end. It's just so questionable, and I think that's a very big weakness that he has. Just not being able to manage that stuff, and you have to kind of. And so you have the clock, the clock management. You have the possible whatever on the sides with those zebra guys, and then you take into the fact that the defense, Dan Quinn. I mean, we knew that the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles were going to be able to push it down the field with the running game. I mean, that wasn't really a surprise, but. I don't know. I think it was a surprise to Dan Quinn and them as well too, because you might be getting holding calls, but somebody should be making a play somewhere.
Even saying that though, Phil.
What's that?
I mean, even in saying that, when you look at the stats, they didn't run great against us.
No,
they were 3 for 3 in the red zone. They capitalized when they were there, and I shout out to the Eagles.
It was just timing everything. Yeah.
Yeah. What up, Brian SoCal? But Brian Broadus did say, and I'm going to go back to him, and everybody knows Broadus. Just because he works for 105.3 The Fan,
he'll give it straight.
He's the opposite of a homer, people. He can't stand Mike McCarthy. He won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. He was in the Eagles scouting. He was the one that drafted Jeremiah Trotter, who was deemed a medical reject in the NFL Combine. Drafted him for the Eagles. He drafted a lot of those guys that who really contributed. But yeah, he's a Super Bowl winner with the Green Bay Packers. He even said the penalty against Gilmore was a phantom call. That was not a penalty at all. And he goes, I will be the first one to tell you. And he was critical. He said the one where they called Schoonmaker, that probably shouldn't have been a penalty, but across the field, Ferguson was holding. You know, when they called, when they held Schoonmaker on the block.
And he ends up pancaking him, and somehow he's holding him.
On the other side of the field, he goes, there was a hold. So, okay, well, like, anytime there's a point of attack, they're going to be ultra sensitive.
Yeah.
Now, that same grab is not a hold most of the time. But at the point of the attack, with the ball going by you, they're going to call it.
Yeah.
If that was on the other side of the field,
I'm just saying, man, Micah's getting pulled from behind, and every single play he's being held. I got a lot of video of him being held. A lot. And that's why when they talk about how Lane Johnson and all these guys, Dickerson, they do these amazing jobs. No, they don't. They just get away with a lot of shit. So I'm starting to question that, but they're still tough football. Let them do it. You know, if they get away with it, then they're playing for the game. Yeah, I would say if you're gonna do it and get away with it, then you do it. I don't say what they're doing is wrong.
Nobody. It's only us.
No, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. So it's more.
Just how good do you do it?
Exactly. So that's why I'm not. But I did want to bring a fact, and Twiz is talking about this. Talking about Jake Ferguson and when you look at Jake Ferguson when he's been on the field compared to when he has not been on the field, the completion percentages drop quite a bit. Dak is right now when Jake Ferguson is on the field is almost like 74.2% of passes that he's completing. Once he comes off the field and you put somebody else in there at the tight end position, it's a 58.2. The yards per attempt is 8.6 compared to 4.6. And then you have touchdown to interception ratio. When he's on the field, they've been 13 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. And when he's been off the field, 0 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. So a guy, like I said, we said this going into this game, there's a connection that these two have. Now, getting hit in midair and possible something there. I like football where it's rough, the old school kind of way. And so that really didn't bother me. So him not coming up with that catch, it sucks. But hopefully that's something he can develop a little bit more in the future. Yeah. But I do like the connection that they have. I just wish that, Schoonmaker, can get out of his growing pains.
He's going to get better, people.
Yes, just get another yard deep. Get another yard deep into there, and you got it. Like, it's just learning. He's going to learn from this situation.
I do want to touch on a bunch of things. I know
go ahead, let's do it.
But I do want to touch on a bunch of stuff. But you just said Schoonmaker coming up a yard short. On that same play, there's a camera, and I'm not blaming the officials for the loss, Eagle fans. I'm just letting you know how close this was.
Yeah.
When he was cutting across the goal line, he was pulled. He was pulled. Yeah. He was pulled. That was a hold at the goal line. They're not going to call it against Dallas, but his whole inside body before he caught the ball was turned. It's a flag. I have the picture up on Facebook. I could show it to you. It was a flag. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of these things that happened. I'm proud of my team the way they played. I was frustrated with that last sequence where we took the sack. Everybody said, Dak can't take that sack. Dude, they were all over him.
And the bounces, and there were some bounces a lot of the Eagles' way.
Like Bryan said, if you try and throw the ball away when they're that close to you, who knows? They may hit your arm. You may fumble. It might be over anyway. Then you'll be like, it is what it is, man. It is. You were in the pocket. You just can't throw it out of bounds. It was a penalty. Lost it down. If he does that, things happen fast. But us novices sitting at home watching on TV, making Dak's got it. Listen, man. Just everybody calm down about Dak. Dak had a hell of a game.
He did, man. He had a hell of a game. Micah had a hell of a game. He wasn't getting a lot of stuff there, but he was. When you look at it, he was having a hell of a game.
He had a hell of a game, and he was getting held half the time.
Yeah.
And again, if you can get away with it, then it is what it is. But McCarthy pissed me off again today with the press conference, saying, because they were questioning him about Brandon Cooks and why isn't Brandon Cooks getting involved? You spent a 4th round, whatever they gave up.
And what's going on is not Brandon Cooks' fault. So just to
that's the
when you look at it.
This isn't fantasy football. It's like whoa. You're saying that you're not going out at the trade deadline this year because you made these stud moves last year or in the offseason to bring in Cooks and Gilmore, but you're not getting Cooks involved. So, I'd like because I posed this to my live. I don't know. Everything's jumbled. I know I said it last night too. How would Derrick Henry look on this team yesterday?
Not good.
Just put him in that game yesterday, where we need a yard here, 2 yards here.
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, he would have been able to pull through.
You're down to the 5-yard line. Derrick Henry will get you. He'll run somebody over.
And that's where I look at when I look at this team. I think the being on that 5-yard line to win the game said a whole lot. It said a lot about Eagles putting games away and sometimes turning it over, but that ball bounces their way. Now, again, I pointed this out, and I will say this: it may be a change rule, it might something happen, but I can honestly tell you that I've never seen officiating done from New York or any kind of thing where they've used replay to figure out the shit on the bottom. Like I've seen it where we get it and then they get it at the end and they give it to them, and with the replay they don't use that. All of a sudden they used it, and so that's where a lot of it, I'm like, man, this is a little extra attention to details or using stuff that we haven't used before. So that's where I'm like, but at the end, all stuff aside, all that stuff that happened in the series of events that happened, it was all within that offense. Now,
the series of unusual events.
It was. So you get a false start, from your offensive line. Boom, just kind of sums it up. Okay, you get Steele gives up a sack in that thing where you're not helping him at all in the last play, knowing that he's struggling, but we're not going to do that at all. Let's go ahead and pull it back. Now you get CeeDee Lamb going across there is no hook and ladder type of attempt. I thought he caught it. I was like, oh, he's gonna pitch it back, and there is nobody within 20 yards. Like, throw it into the end zone. Give me something. Like, and so it's there that I see the game and go, that's where it was lost. It was no refereeing. There was no Eagles nothing. It was them just playing shitty football.
Yeah, I'm not blaming the loss on the refs.
No, and I don't think you are
I
either.
was frustrated, but when it comes down to it, and I have 1,001 things I could talk about, but at the end of the day, how many times did the Eagles fumble yesterday? 3? I know it was at least 2.
2, I think.
You had the Sam Williams, the strip. You had the end of the game. I thought there was a third one. There was a running back who fumbled it. So there was 3 fumbles, and you get them all back. You have the Schoonmaker at the goal line. You have Dak with the 2-point conversion,
which would have gave us a field goal thing opportunity. Yeah, there's a lot.
You have the first drive of the game where the referee screwed up the spot. It was literally just about 2 yards more than it should have been. If they review it, now it's 4th and 3
and then stupidity
from 30
from McCarthy not challenging it.
Yeah.
I may need it later.
There was the one drive where we kicked the ball out of bounds.
Oh my God!
And then we had the face mask by the new linebacker. Mm-hmm. So you went right from, you had the ball at midfield. Not on that drive, but
and I'm going to say something. And I'm going to say something else, because we are the type of guys that we do not wish.
You can't do that and expect to win.
We do not wish injuries upon anybody. And when you look at that Dallas Goedert thing, I mean, Dallas Goedert is not going down and not going out of bounds, and he's pushing. And you got a little guy, Marquise Bell, trying to bring him down. And he's got to have like 50 to 70 pounds on him. And he brings him down the way that he only can. It happens in football, man, and it sucks that it did happen. We don't like to see it at all, but to say that he's a dirty player that's doing it, and like, no, man, I've seen on Twitter. Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter. Oh, these are dirty Cowboys. Like, really?
Yeah, dirty.
Yeah, because that's how he set him up. He could have tackled him anyway, but he decided to grab him by his arm.
And he was grabbing him.
Stiff arming him for 10 yards. He was stiff arming for 10 yards, and he wouldn't go out of bounds. He wouldn't go back.
Marquise was trying to grab the arm to use it to bring down the tackle because he was getting fucking stiff armed. Excuse my language. So that's what was going on. Nobody's trying to hurt anybody. It's football. Shit happens. Look at Dak's ankle going the other way.
Yeah, that wasn't.
It was an ugly tackle.
It was an
look
ugly
at.
tackle.
I mean, we can go. I mean, just look at the injury to Jalen Hurts that he was hobbled. Nobody's trying to hurt anybody. It's football. Shit happens.
Yeah, so I did see that. I was kind of like, okay, we gotta squash that real quickly.
Again, Eagles won the game because they were able to recover all the f-ups. They didn't come up a yard short on a particular play. They didn't get out of bounds.
Am I wrong, or did we not cover inches? We did cover inches. We covered inches that you're going to need to fight.
About?
No, like, prior to the game, didn't we talk about how they were going to need to come out and get these inches, and then and then he's talking about inches?
Responding to somebody in the chat.
No. I was talking to you. I'm sorry. I remember us talking about those inches, and it's crazy how this
every
is a
inch
big
counts.
Yeah,
people.
Yeah,
but
pause.
Every inch.
The ladies
Come
like, I can test for that.
You know, it was a weird feeling after this game because I felt like, and Eagle fans, just put yourself in my head or Phil's head. I feel like, all right, I understand. I just outlined the things we didn't do, but
when you look at a lot of stuff we did do, man,
the things we did, I don't feel like we lost the game, but in my mind, we're like, dude, we're up and down the field. I mean, our defense played pretty damn good. We did a real good job against arguably the best receiver in football, AJ Brown.
Another runner that's not 100, and another catchers that are not 100.
I mean, we did our job. We just didn't capitalize on a real good team in the areas that you need to capitalize. Now, I don't remember us.
That's true.
I guess they called the last play of the game a turnover because when I went back and looked, we had a fumble, but that had to have been the last play of the game.
Yeah, but say the CD try to flip it back or something like.
Yeah, it was something stupid, and I think that was a turnover because it made no sense.
Again, I didn't.
That should be like defensive.
The hook and ladder. There should be something there. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, and I'm not, listen, Eagles won the game. They're on a bye.
Okay, so I'm going to jump on this one. I think this is a good subject to talk about. Can we all agree that Tolbert should overtake Gallup and the salary should not matter in this situation now?
I don't necessarily mean overtake. You don't have to say your bench. I just think he sees more time. You know?
I mean, is Gallup a starter? Technically not. I mean... So, he's just
I don't care how you couch it. Tolbert needs to play.
He does. He does.
And I don't know. I'm hearing they're bringing in Martavius Bryant tomorrow, and they're going to sign him.
I don't see a downside to this. Yeah, people like to bring up the pass thing.
Who's going to get cut? You tell me.
Gallup.
Who's going to get cut?
Man, I don't like where it's going. I mean, Brooks.
Better not be Jalen Brooks.
But I'm going to think that could be a practice squad guy, right? So
Martavius, I guess.
Yeah, he could be brought in the practice squad.
I don't want to get rid of Jalen Brooks.
No, hell no. I already said it. He's a Wayne Corbett to me. He's going to be our guy to go on to first downs.
Jalen Brooks is going to be Michael Thomas.
Yeah, he's going to be amazing.
Now. Yep. Everybody can laugh at me. Jalen Brooks is that good. I'm telling you.
It was YouTuber Eagle AL that put dirty players, and so that's who it was.
Listen, man. I swear these guys.
And Jordan Lewis, dude. God dang it, I'm tired of Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Lewis. I don't know why we can't get Israel Mukuamu on the field. I
agree.
Listen, another thing, Brian, he said, and he's right. Marquise Bell, which he did play a lot yesterday, and Wanye Thomas have to play.
Yes, Wanye. Where's my Wanye, man?
He has to play. He's a playmaker.
Yes.
Wanye Thomas would start for any other team. And because we extended a Malik Hooker who's invisible. I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying he doesn't do anything.
And shit yesterday, so
it's
the only time he ever
like,
stood out.
I want to see Wanye play.
I do too, man. That's my guy.
So, our ceiling can get way higher than what we showed yesterday, and I was pretty happy with the performance. Now, I could see, Phil, that we didn't have a bye week to plan based on that first BS drive that we had on offense. This is what I was afraid of when I was telling you. I was telling you, what's going to happen? We had a great game plan because we had the bye week and we had plenty of time. Then on a normal week, we go to an opponent that we know. You can't do that against good teams. You got to go down. You can't do a 3 and out.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying with this offense. I don't trust the way he starts the game. Like it doesn't make any sense. Some of the stuff that he does to start the game off. Now he's great as it goes, as he goes forward. But man, it's to me. I have this rule: when I go out to eat anywhere, I eat a burger because I like to test out. Because if you can't make a burger, you can't. To me, you can't cook the rest of it. Okay.
Nice.
That's
a good
I have to look at him and think that he does the same thing with running the damn ball up the middle. If you can't block the run up the middle, then I'm gonna just be able to destroy you all game. It's like, and is that your go-to move? Because for some reason, every time I feel like you're starting the game the same exact way. And is your scripted plays you're just straight up scripted plays for the rest of the year? I'm not understanding it. Is it the analytics tell you that running 2 plays up the middle and then throwing a pass on 3rd down really says a lot about the defense that you're going to, because now you can see them in all types of formations and how they react. Were they fooled and didn't come up and block the run the second time? I don't know the philosophy behind it, but it's stupid, and it just kind of needs to be thrown out the window. So, and I agree, Vinny. Play aggressive all the time, man. That's where I feel that he's losing that edge there. And if you're finding it in midseason, there's a lot of season to still go through for this campaign.
Yeah,
but
listen. I couched it and I did say it, and I'm going to stick by it until we get to that December 10th game. We'll see what happens. Eagles find a way to win these games, and it won't matter. But I have a feeling that December 10th game is going to be pretty darn important. I think that's when we play them. So based on our schedule, we're literally playing a free agent quarterback this week in the Giants, so that's going to be a win, people. If we lose, like I said today,
I think we
lose against the Giants, then we got way bigger problems, and we shouldn't be worried about the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
I expect a win, and then next week, Eagles will go to the Chiefs on Monday night. That's not going to be easy, and we have yet another winnable games.
Was it Carolina the next one after that?
I think it's Carolina.
And so, that could be something with, Bryce young quarterback. All of a sudden, he kind of doesn't know how to lose. I don't know. He's learning it pretty quickly now.
Yeah,
but no. I expect. I expect
so that's
good.
Two.
I would.
The Eagles lose one.
Yeah.
Now
I would expect us to
within
be,
one.
Within one.
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could be.
And then we still got.
Yeah, we could be behind one or actually tied by the time we play them.
Yeah, I say probably behind one, but maybe tied.
Could be tied.
I don't know, because then you play Buffalo.
But if they do win, man, it's going to be impressive. Don't be wrong. Kansas City isn't
I
playing the best of their games. Buffalo's not playing the best.
I do.
Yeah, so these teams aren't playing the best, but they are capable of beating you. Even San Francisco, not playing the best. But
San Fran's going to turn it around.
Yeah.
You know they are.
You know they are too.
Night 3, I thought you were already a sub, but thanks for subbing up, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I know he
he's a good one.
subscribed to my channel earlier, but I thought he was already, so I was confused. Unless he was one of the ones who left me last night when I was going off. Hey, listen, I am an emotional guy when I watch the games. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm like
I was telling Phil, I just lost 3 subs, and then after I did my reaction video, I gained like 18. So it all works out. But I was just like, who did I piss off now? Come on, you guys know I always do.
I appreciate it, Nikes.
I always, I always give a lot of respect. I'm not perfect. I'm an emotional dude. Watching football is just drives me nuts.
I go up and down, but it's not as high level.
I know.
Yeah, but and so I can always see the positives on certain things, but But man, there was some stuff there yesterday that I was even getting kind of really riled up about. So it's understandable, man. If you're passionate, it's nice to, I think Fever Pitch says it perfectly. It's like it's nice to be invested in something you have no control over,
Yeah, Mark wanted me to join him tonight. I'm too tired after this. After me and Phil are done here, I'm going to go downstairs and get into bed and just watch some of the game and pass out. That's what I'm going to do.
But yeah, man,
I will be streaming
game.
Thursday. I'll stream whatever crap game is on Thursday. I'll stream it. But what up, Elena? How are you, sweetie?
Congratulations, guys, as well, man. Don't take away what we're saying in the sense of what's refs and stuff like that.
Listen,
it's just the NFL needs to finish.
That's what
polish
it's
their
about.
product, and you know it as well too. There was some questionable there was a lot of questionable calls in general.
To me,
and that's what I'm saying. It's not just a one side. Just
to
timing.
me, it's a shout out to the team that.
Oh man, they were battling.
When I say everything fell your way, all the fumbles. I mean, it could have been disastrous for you guys, and it wasn't. Everything worked out. I mean. Sam Williams coming screaming, and the ball comes out of his hand. We're deep into your territory. We get that ball. We get the 2-point conversion, and now the last drive. I know your buttholes were tight when we were down to the 5-yard line. I actually thought we were going to win at that point, and that's when all hell broke loose. And
that's when it all went. Yeah, what the hell?
But I mean, think about if we would have got the 2-point conversion. Now you're looking at field goal to tie.
And not
think about that.
And not the pressure to actually score the touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
change that drive.
I keep going back to how close this game was. The numbers, it wasn't like the Eagles are blowing us out on the field and we were just hanging with them on the scoreboard. No, we were the one putting up the yardage and doing everything. Now,
and I honestly thought the offense was going to struggle more. I really did. Even when I thought they were going to pass really well.
We were able to move the ball.
Yeah, I would agree.
Not so much against the secondary, but I thought our line, even though they give up 5 sacks, they did half decently. They did half decently. That left side of our line was good.
There should be pass interference on that one. Should have been first and
yeah, goal. I know, and
But I mean, again, it's just
I have to just look past that because nothing's going to change.
But see, that's the thing is what I like to see in that whole situation was they overcame it. They overcame it and were still put themselves in a situation to win it at the very end. Yes, it went downhill, but these are the situations you learn from. And to put yourself in that situation as a rookie, I mean, how many tight ends get that chance? Now, you can't tell me he's not going to learn from that. And next time he's in a situation where he's going, that he's not going to get into that end zone a little bit and to another step or sidestep a little bit or lean that way,
Yeah. I mean, Glimmerman, that's what was so crazy about that game. Any one thing, just one of
many things,
8, 10, 12 things bad that happened to Dallas, meaning not getting into the end zone, getting hit out of bounds, the 3 fumbles, the pass interference, the non-pass
stepping out of bounds,
the strip sack. Any one of those things ends up in your favor. You're probably winning the game. So that's how close it was.
Yeah,
so
but that's what I'm saying, Elena. You can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, it's you said that. If you were in the beginning, you would have heard us about the flags because it was the first thing we talked about.
Yeah, the flags.
It's like we're not going to go through it again.
Yeah, you're right, Elena. They both ended up with 10
at the end. At the end, yes.
Yeah, at the end, they were really trying to give it to us at the end. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, because I was even questioning those calls that they were going. I'm like, really? Are we calling that? Are we trying to even this up at the end? Like, this is
if
bull.
you watch the stream, I was not happy.
Yeah, we're not happy about the calls that were being called against you guys.
But they're sitting looking at their call sheet. Don't tell me they're not. What the hell are these officials doing? They review. They're looking at their sheet and they're going, okay, all right, well, we got.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying to is we overcame
because
all
McCarthy
that,
said he only had 3 penalties at halftime. And they called 7 out, like in the second half.
Yeah, and then when it really counted, that's where we just fell apart. I think that's where I say it. It's just after all that stuff, you push it outside. You had a chance at the end. You're at the 5.
That's
and
what
it just
I was
fell
saying.
apart.
With all of that, only one of those things that I laid out. If it happens a different way, we win, and we move on.
Yeah,
but
I like that they
shout out to the Eagles.
I liked it.
They held it.
When we needed a stop on the defense, they stopped. When we needed to get down the field, they got down there a lot quicker than I thought they were going to. Let's be real. I thought it was not going to go anywhere near like that, but they do. They have a really good connection with a lot of their guys. They just need to, if they can add a couple of more of those other guys.
Yesterday, other than the kick out of bounds. I don't know where the hell that came from, but
Atlanta. No, it's just the refs needed to stay out of it. It's
kind of a frustrating game, Atlanta. I would imagine Eagles fans would agree that they didn't think that their team played very good.
Yeah, the defenses were.
I would imagine they would think that they could have played better. And like I was telling Phil, I was afraid of going back to the week-to-week McCarthy BS, and we saw some of that. It wasn't all bad.
No, it
but
wasn't.
we did see some of that in the first half, and I'm like,
fumble Jets, Chargers recover.
Hold nutty. But yeah, all in all, it was a good game, right?
Man, they were fighting each other, and that's what I like. I mean, it was still entertaining, man. There was a lot of back and forth, and man, it was good. It was a good matchup. Even with all that stuff, it's just that's what you want. I think you want at that at the end of the game. Your team was battling, and that's what you want.
Ifs.
Yeah, that San Francisco
ifs
game.
And buts for candy and nuts. What a Merry Christmas we would be, right? Yes. Is that or whatever the hell they say? But it is what it is, man. Congrats to the Birds, and we'll see you in a month. Yeah. Hopefully it's
close.
Where
it's at. Yeah, we'll see where each team is at, because you can't really predict how it's going to truly go. Bills just get destroyed yesterday. Cincy seems to have their number a little bit. So, and Cincy's obviously on the other side where they're coming, they're finding who they are. I don't know if it's, it's a good time to find who you are. I don't know if it's a great time to go on a streak, which they could go on.
We're going streaking.
To the quad.
We're going to the quads.
But anyways, yes, a great rivalry matchup. I still liked it. I can walk away with still feeling that my team definitely battled, but there's a lot to improve on, a whole lot to improve on. That there's gonna be some stuff out of your hands, but man, there's a lot within your grasp that you need to work on. Let's just be real. So, Brian, anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
I'll
man?
just finish up with this. I heard McCarthy say last week when they were watching the film, he didn't indicate exactly what he meant, but I saw some of what I think he meant yesterday. And he said he saw his team turn a corner. Got to remember, people, we have a lot of young players on this team. A lot of young players on this team. You get caught up with D-Law and the quarterback and Hankins, but we have a lot of young, infused players on this team. He said that he saw them turn the corner, and he said he would have loved to have seen a win yesterday to reassure the young players
that when you fight as hard,
they're on the right track.
Yeah.
But he says they were all encouraged after the game that they were able to do a lot of what they had talked about.
Yeah.
We're not in there, but so I would say this to my Cowboy fans: we can only get better from here. We're still 5-3. We're only one game behind where I had them. I had them at 6-2. We're 5-3. Okay, we have a bunch of winnable games coming up. We have a stretch later on in the year, but we could win the next 4. So let's go do that. Win our home games, and and win the games we can win on the road, and we'll be just fine. So,
so anyways, again, we're gonna be right back here on what is the game? It's gonna be on.
I don't even know, dude. Are we gonna be on here? Yeah, I'm sure we will be, right? I don't know. They're playing the Giants, right? So
they're playing the Giants at Sunday at 4:25. So kind of the same thing. So we'll be back on Saturday. Obviously, we'll be on Brian's channel for maybe Thursday Night Football. I don't know if I will or will not be there on this one. Just because I have in-laws in town. It's their last week.
Yeah, what is the Thursday? Let me.
So it looks. I don't even have that one.
What crap game is on Thursday? Let's see. Week 9. Tennessee, Pittsburgh was this past week.
Yep.
Week 10 would be, oh, God. Oh, no. I don't know about this, Phil. Carolina at Chicago.
Holy cow, man.
I may go on just for shits and giggles, but it ain't gonna have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
all like.
we'll have, I'll
So what
be
are you
all,
doing this weekend? Well, when I was a kid, I was going down to the lake. Yo, it's just a therapy session and stuff like that. 'Cause, oh yeah, we have a football game. That's right.
Looking at the this weekend real quick before we get out of here. You got the, I think it's the last German game, a Germany game.
We put down the.
Indianapolis and New England
What's
playing
up, my
Germany.
Oh, another Germany game?
Yeah, 9:30. Yeah. So and then you have anything good at 1 o'clock? Not really.
So Browns,
Warner's
Ravens, Texans, Bengals, 49ers,
Jacksonville.
Oh, that could be something. That could lead. That could
But,
hand. That could hand 49ers a
know.
loss or a good victory.
Maybe
for
we'll
them.
just. Maybe we might just. Oh, we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll just go live for the 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that. Honestly, it's not worth it. That's a crap game. There's a bunch of crap games. Maybe just go live. Maybe a little earlier. Maybe go live at 3:45 or something. 4 o'clock and do the Dallas Giants game. And then you got Seattle. That's a good game, Tim. Seattle, Washington. I expect Seattle to thump Washington this week. And okay, all right, that's not bad. So yeah, we'll do that. But in the meantime, I hope everybody has a good night. And Lord Nova, don't worry, buddy. We'll get him next time. What up, Weed?
But anyways, man, congratulations as well on part 1 of this rivalry matchup, and I appreciate everybody coming through. Like, give us your take. If you don't agree with something that we're saying, let us know in the comments of why. Why does Dallas suck in your? Because there's always gonna be
let
Dallas
Phil know
sucks,
why
like
he's
a caveman.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, just Phil. But anyways, the one thing I do appreciate all you guys doing is not forgetting to do what?
Ringing that bell.
I appreciate it, everybody. See you guys later.
Hey, we know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do, you're like a little screw loose type of guy, and that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
Gametime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here,
Cool name. Superpowers?
broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studio.
Come on, are you gonna tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil, and of course my co-host, Gametime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000. I don't even need to hear it.